Now, my question for every Republican senator and congressman watching this, if you do not know these 4 letters, then you are not doing your job. BNPL. Do you know what that means?
No clue.
Buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later is how 60%, according to surveys, of Generation Z is paying for things month to month. They're not credit cards. So this is not regulated by credit bureaus. It's not regulated with credit checks. It's basically anything from Amazon to Instacart, groceries, clothing, furniture. You can finance anything. It's BNPL. It's run by 3 main companies, Klarna, Affirm, and Afterpay. And essentially, you're 21, 22 years old. You can split a pizza into 4 payments. Sounds great, right? This is the modern tech economy.
Buy a pizza on credit?
Yes. It's
happening now?
You can go to Instacart right now and either through Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay. Those are the 3 big actors. These are non-credit regulated bureaus.
Shut those fuckers down tomorrow. No, I'm serious. I'm so offended.
By the way, 2 of them are foreign companies, just so we're clear. One is a Swedish company and one is an Australian company. I did a deep dive into this.
You can buy a pizza on credit?
Yes, you can buy almost anything on credit. Concert tickets, you can buy. So when I'm a big sports fan, I'm a huge Chicago Cubs fan. It's just fun. I grew up in Chicago. When I go to buy tickets at Wrigley Field, they say, finance this over the next 3 years using Klarna.
Actually?
Yes. Concert tickets, Taylor Swift tickets. So what you have is a workaround.
What's the collateral?
There's no credit score, so it's just you. It's like your Social Security. They're collateralizing you. So it's very high risk for the quote-unquote lender, but they have the late fees and the penalties make these companies eventually whole because they know they got you. And again, this is not regulated by traditional credit bureaus. So the federal government has not really waded in on this yet. And again, you could.
I'm just like
your younger folks can affirm everything I'm saying. I'm not right. Am I correct? I'm not making any of this up. It's BNPL. So when I sit down with a Republican senator,
I never think of myself as out of it or not in touch or whatever. I flatter myself that I've got my thumb on the pulse of the country. I am shocked. I've heard people refer to this. I didn't realize if you can buy a pizza on credit, someone needs to.
But here's the kicker. And your groceries. Ugh. The belief is that Gen Z is doing this to live above their means. Most are actually doing this to meet their means.
But that's the definition of predatory.
Right. And so again, this is not structurally healthy debt. So there's an argument for debt if you have a mortgage, because the whole system is kind of rigged towards mortgages.
Of course it is.
You could deduct the interest, the asset price goes up.
It's hard to get off the mortgage addiction. I did it, but
there's an argument for it.
You take your lumps if you don't have a mortgage.
And I think there's an argument that's actually an okay and
you could
reconcilable type of debt.
I know smart people have mortgages.
If you are in investment banking and you have student loan debt and that student loan certificate, that credential got you the investment bank, okay, you bet on yourself. Maybe that's justifiable. Again, I'm very anti-college, as you know. There's really no place where you can make an argument that financing your Whole Foods order is good for you.
But to do that to young people who really, I'm 56 and I'm still terrible with money. It's hard. It's hard. And I don't think I'm not lazy and I don't think I'm profligate, but I also think I'm easily fooled because I'm distracted. And if I was 21, imagine how much more unsophisticated I would be and how much more vulnerable to predatory behavior like that. And everything is so easy because everything is digital now. That's an awful thing to do to young people.
And it creates a subterranean debt market that a lot of these young people think this is how you pay for stuff. They haven't been educated otherwise. They're like, I'll just, pay for that meal in 5 installments.
What are the interest rates like?
They can get very high. I don't want to speak out of turn, but they can get to be double digits, right? And so that's really where they get you is the late fees.
This is bonkers.
And so it's not regulated by traditional APR. So it's a gray area. And I think people are finally waking up. So, hey, Republicans.
Can you tell me the name of the 3 companies again?
So it's Affirm, Klarna, and Afterpay.
Afterpay, which is the American one.
I believe so, yeah. So one of them was bought by Box and is operated by Square, which I believe is Klarna. I don't want to speak out of term here. One of them it's still Australian run, but it's run by Box. It might be Afterpay. Someone can fact check me on this. But those are the 3 big actors. And they've kind of just gone below the surface So we create all this economic anxiety by pumping the system with cheap money. Everything gets more expensive. Meanwhile, we have millions of young people that are financing their Coachella tickets, but it's not through credit cards. Because in credit cards, we have a very regimented, regulated system. I think the credit cards are a disaster, and we need to kind of figure that out. But this is a totally different thing. And so what they've done is they've tried to create a loophole, and federal regulators are slow, as they typically are. And they're like, oh, no, this is not credit cards. This is something else. This is like a repayment thing. It's like buy now, pay later. And it's the opposite of what built the West. What built the West is work now, pay after. So you're going to meaning like we will enjoy things later. That's what built the West. This is like enjoy things now and pay for it later. It is you
know what I don't like about conservatives, and I am one, is that it would never occur to some of them that there are two sides to the story. It's like immediately, they blame the people who are, buying Coachella tickets on credit, which I get. You shouldn't buy Coachella tickets on credit or your pizza or your Whole Foods order. I totally agree with that. That's stupid. But it doesn't occur to them that there's another side, that the people loaning the money are taking advantage of the dumb people borrowing the money. That both are culpable. And by the way, I think the people with more power and more wisdom are probably more culpable, act morally, than the people who are. In other words, like, are we matter at the drug user or the drug dealer?
Well, and then also,
typically the dealer, but conservatives look at all economic arrangements and they never blame the dealer. And I don't know what that is. Like, how about we'll blame everybody? It's bad. The recent threat of foreign wars has turned news coverage in this country away from what's happening in the United States, and we're certainly part of that. The downside, unfortunately, is that it plays into hands of the worst people. The establishment don't want you focused on the United States because that's a threat to their control. The more closely you look at what they're doing, the more angrier you're going to get, and they're getting rich off what's happening here. The health of everyday Americans is one of the issues that we ignore. More and more people seem exhausted, anxious, foggy, overweight. Testosterone tanking in men is one of the causes of that, and there are a lot of others as well. The medical system just shrugs this off and pushes, of course, more drugs. But that doesn't solve the problem. It hasn't. Joy and Blokes will. Their clinic delivers hand-guided, expert-guided care for hormone health, longevity, cutting-edge peptide therapy. You don't have to leave your house to get any of it. You pair that with their smart supplements, which are fully personalized and have over 3 billion combinations, and you get actual results with no gimmicks at all. Go to joyandblokes.com to get 20% off all their products and their therapies. They're also offering a free 15-minute health coach consultation for anyone who's got questions. Start feeling like yourself again, stronger, sharper, and built to last. joyandblokes.com/Tucker. Root cause medicine, the way healthcare really should be.
I think the reason, and it's a tick within the conservative movement, is that all of a sudden we're Marxists if we do that. And I think that no, I'm not saying, I don't believe that.
No, but you're absolutely right.
I think
it's like I'm a racist if I don't like mass immigration. Well, I don't like mass immigration, but I'm not a racist. I don't like this, and I'm not a Marxist. Like, right, exactly. It's just name calling to stop you from raising the question.
It's thought terminating cliches. Is what it is.
So good.
Right? It's stop thinking it, because we're gonna terminate your thought by calling you a Marxist or whatever. And do I think this should be illegal? I don't know. Probably. I need to learn more about it. All I'm saying is I am here as a messenger of the next generation. I'm telling you, this is bad. This generation can't own anything. They owe so much more money than generations prior. This is the most indebted generation in history. And I double checked that. Gen Z owes the most money in any history, any generation in history. So we wonder why. Then all of a sudden, hey, you want to go buy a home now at the age of 38, your credit score is destroyed. Your spending habits are terrible. You don't want to save, and you don't think you should save. And you know what I hear from some of them is they say, well, why should I save when what I saw around me is that you need to get into this economy and spend because the savers got wrecked in 2008. Again, that's an oversimplification, but there is economic nihilism that is set in to a lot of this next generation where they're not participating in any of the upside right now, any of the upside of the last 5 years. In fact, they're only seeing the downside. They're seeing their apartments get smaller, their rents go up, their groceries get more expensive. Now, mind you, I think President Trump is, again, he's uniquely positioned to solve this. I think that his one big beautiful bill is going to help, and I think growth will help this and lowering interest rates. But let me just say though, why do I say it's a race against the clock? And here's why it should concern conservatives. Because when I'm at dinner parties raising money, some of our donors are a little indifferent about this. They'll have kind of like a, hey, pull yourself up by the bootstraps attitude. That's hard to shake. I don't have that attitude. I actually have a lot more compassion for the 23-year-old that is working a double shift and can't afford anything. But even if you don't care about them, you're not going to like the politics that comes next.
But how did we wind up on the side of the money lenders? I mean, at no other time in history is that been considered a virtuous business at all. I know a million people in that business, finance, we call it, but I don't understand why they became immune from criticism. And that's, I mean, there are places where, I borrowed a lot of money in my life and I'm grateful for it and all that. But I don't think it's virtuous. And I don't think we should say that it's virtuous. And I don't think the people who do it should be above criticism. I don't know. Why is the right participating in basically a cover-up of a crime against people?
Or even like from my perspective, why is the right so blind to the suffering of the young people that just gave you a Senate majority?
Oh, fair. Good question. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.